Hello everyone and welcome back to This Week in Mythic Plus. Now this week we have Bolstering, which means whenever a non-boss enemy dies, it does buff all of his nearby allies that are in combat. Explosive, which means that non-boss enemies periodically spawn fell explosions that need to be destroyed. If they are not destroyed, then they do 50% of the player's HP as damage, so if you get at least 2 of these, you will go down. And Tyrannical, which means that boss mobs have more HP and do more damage. Now tanks. For this week, we need to slow down a little bit. This means that we have to do one pull at a time because of bolstering. If we start chain pulling too many things or pull too many packs at once, the triggers of bolstering will get so high that we'll actually end up wiping because of it. So do one pull at a time and make sure you're out of combat before proceeding to the next pull. As a tank, you should also be taking down fell explosions as well, but DPS should be on it as a priority, but you should be on it as well because if any of these goes off, it could mean a wipe for your group. So remember to spam your tab key in order to find those explosives and take them down. Also, since we do have Tyrannical this week, this means that the big boss abilities are going to hit that much harder, so remember to use your cooldowns on those big boss damaging abilities. And one last thing to note is that the fell explosives can be line of sighted, so if you need to pull a pack somewhere else in a room, and they do spawn fell explosives in the room next to you, don't be scared, those will not do any damage to you, so only handle the fell explosives that are in line of sight of you. DPS. AoE and cleave as evenly as possible this week because of bolstering. If you single target and take things down, you're going to take a much longer time, given that you'll give them a bigger amount of HP every time bolstering triggers. So try to bring everyone down to at least 20% or so HP before mobs start going down. Make sure you prioritize explosives this week. One of those explosives means 50% of the HP of everyone will go away. So if you even get 2 of those bombs that go off, you are dead. So make sure you prioritize taking down the fell explosives over anything else when they do spawn. For the big boss abilities, you do also have to use defensive cooldowns. So for example, the last boss in Black Cold, whenever that Shadow Bolt volley goes out, you do want to pop a defensive cooldown to survive it because of Tyrannical. And if you feel like your defensive cooldowns are not enough for what you're doing, equip a Pridas and that absorption bubble will help you out whenever you need it. Healers. Healing will increase as the pull happens as opposed to normal when it decreases, so the less amount of mobs you have that are up, the more damage your tank will be taking, and that's because of bolstering. So don't ease up on the healing pedal as the pull continues. Make sure you keep your tank alive and keep your tank up. If you're noticing your tank and your DPS slacking on killing the fell explosives, it does fall upon you to also help take those out. So when you see fell explosives go out, make sure you take them down as well. And when you have a big boss ability, be it single target to your tank or AoE to the group, make sure you have some AoE or big heals waiting as soon as that lands. Being able to recover from a big boss damaging ability is the difference between having 1 or 2 people go down and actually surviving and taking the boss down. Now this week's difficulty is a 7 out of 10. It all really depends on your pacing and how you do with explosives. The difficulty this week really boils down to the fact that the trash is not going to be easy because of bolstering and explosive, and Tyrannical is also going to make the boss fights harder. So that means that there is no weak part to any Mythic Plus dungeon this week. The trash is going to be difficult and so are the boss fights, so keep that in mind. Again, throw Pridas on before you go into boss battles if you do have it, and remember to target swap to fell explosives as soon as they go out. Keep your pulls to a comfortable 3 to 6 mobs per pull, and you should be alright this week. Don't rush to upgrade your keystone by 3 levels this week either. Aim for 1 or 2. That wraps it up for this week in Mythic Plus, and as always, good luck out there.